I'm Sam.
And I'm Zach.
And this is episode 2 of Trackside Talks. This is Airport Edition in the Calgary Airport.
Today we're talking about the big winners and losers of the qualifying round, which happened earlier today.
For the English Grand Prix. So I'm thinking, just to start us off, I think the big losers are Alpine, getting obviously the Pierre Gasly, the 50 place downside because he had too many replacements in his car that were not allotted, and Ocon just had a tough time dealing with the rain and such. So they obviously got 20th and 18th, which is a big loss for them. I thought that they were going to have a big race, but I think they still could come back tomorrow. I think another big loser is Ferrari, my team. So actually both of our teams. Ferrari, the first Q1 was quite misleading. Charles Leclerc did quite well. They were both in third and fourth for most of the time, and I think they got a little bit too comfortable. Charles Leclerc had a tough time dealing with the weather in Q2. His tires were a little bit messed up. He had to pit stop multiple times. Carlos Sainz did pretty well. I think we can come back from this.
And I think that the biggest loser that we're sleeping on is Red Bull, because obviously getting 19th with the best team, and then did they also get 5th or 6th? One of those two Max Verstappen got. So they did surprisingly very unwell, and that doesn't set up well because I don't think Checo has enough power to come back and even score points from 19th place. So I agree, like you said last episode, I think Red Bull will I don't think they'll do very well. And I think I still think McLaren's in a good spot to succeed this race, and I still think Oscar will be winning this race. But I think George Russell might be moving up in my ranks because it's hard to do bad when you're such a good car from such a high position.
I think obviously the two main winners are clearly McLaren and Mercedes, obviously, because they're both neck and neck right up there with. They have 1, 2 for both Mercedes, and then 3 is Lando, and I forget where Oscar is, but I think both of them are in great places to succeed this race, and I think, unfortunately, since Ferrari is my team, I do believe that McLaren will overtake Ferrari in the standings this race. But I do also believe that that Ferrari just has a lot left that they still can do. And McLaren has made all of their big alterations to their car and all that other stuff. And Lando and Oscar Piastri are just in fabulous form right now. And I think Charles Leclerc has had a bit of a fall from grace, especially with how good the beginning of the season was.
I also think that even though Haas didn't do exceptionally great, I think that they will be doing really well this race. They've been on the upswing, and Hülkenberg, I think, is actually one of the top quality racers in all of F1. So I'm looking forward to see how they do. I have them both scoring points, maybe 9th and 7th, 9th and 10th. So I think Haas overtakes Aston Martin soon.
Okay, so I really like that. I think Hülkenberg did great in qualifiers. I also think another good one, and I know you just said that they might get overtaken, but Aston Martin did quite well in qualifiers. I don't think qualifiers matters as much as it does in certain races, but I definitely do feel like Haas is in a good place with Hülkenberg, and Aston Martin had a pretty good qualifying round. So another thing is RB. I think they're in a very, very weird spot because they're not in the low teams with Williams and Kicksaber, but they have really, really, really been struggling. I don't know if it's the car. I don't know if it's the drivers. Their pit stops have been really slow. I think they need to get something figured out soon because they're having a big time fall.
So I actually don't know what place Valtteri Bottas got this qualifying, but I do have him getting into the points this race for Kicksaber, getting their first points, because he's a very talented driver and has shown that, always getting 1 and 2 when he was on Red Bull. And I think that he's gonna, even though he doesn't have the best car but best team, I think he'll show that he can still score points with any team this race.
All right, that's all for today. We will be posting tomorrow after the English Grand Prix, but then we will take a little break and only post when either there's a race or some big news or something to talk about. And also, Zachary and I do not live together, so most of our things will be over call.
All right, this has been Zach.
And Sam, thank you so much. Goodbye.